All right, man, peace. You know, brother, sometimes very special things sprout up right under our noses, and we don't realize it until it's fully in bloom. And such seems to be the case with Mr. Kemba Walker, the point guard slash shooting guard, really combo guard of the Charlotte Hornets, who's really been bubbling for the last 4 or 5 years now, and he now fully is in bloom to the level where we feel comfortable mentioning him with the Steph Currys and the Damian Lillards, the Kyrie Irvings, etc., because he's shown that he can go head-to-head, toe-to-toe with those players. Well, now, there's a professional basketball player who states that she believes that Kemba Walker is even more explosive than Steph Curry. So, of course, they're going to talk about it, and I'm going to chime in.
Eastern. Let's talk a little bit about Kemba Walker, shall we? He, of course, won a title in college, but he says he never...
Kemba Walker was one of the most valuable college players that I can remember ever seeing. And I've been watching college basketball. Well, I shouldn't say I've been. I first started watching college basketball around 89 or 90 and then kind of fell away from it in the 2000s after all of the best high school players started to come directly into the NBA as opposed to going to college. Because for brothers who remember, back in the early 90s, there was a point in time where college basketball was as exciting as NBA basketball. But that kind of went by the wayside after Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady all came directly from high school into the pros in successive seasons. But Kemba Walker is certainly a player that I remember being a dominant college basketball player, one of the more impactful college basketball players that I can remember. And the impact that he had on his team was truly nonpareil, and it's carried over into the NBA, where you could tell that his teammates truly respect what he brings to the table. And he's extremely explosive. There's no doubt about that.
He never imagined reaching the level of success that he has in the NBA. Kemba told our own Zach Lowe, when potentially asked about being a superstar, quote, "I don't think of myself that way. It's strange."
He's lying. Yes, he does. Kemba Walker thinks of himself as a superstar. Don't let him fool you with the false humility.
I thought that was an interesting, endearing, candid thing to say for someone who is going...
Well, no, actually, that's the politically correct thing to say for a person who does not want people to think that he believes what he actually believes. That being that he can go toe-to-toe with anybody in the NBA, and he should believe that because he can.
Going to be on the free agent market this summer, wanting teams to pay him. Maybe you want to tell everyone you're a superstar, or you can just have Janae do it, because what do you think?
Kemba Walker is definitely a superstar, and
Well, no, I don't agree with that. He's not a superstar. He's a star. What I do agree with is that he's probably the most explosive little man in the league right now in regards to the quickness of his movements, his ability to both shoot from distance and penetrate to the basket with great speed and alacrity. I'm not quite sure if there's another small guard in the league that has that package all in one. Of course, you have Kyrie, you have Dame, you have Steph. Those are the other three guys. But I'm not quite sure if any of those other three guys are as quick as he is with the basketball.
star. And I know people might say, well, his team's not winning, who cares? Since 2015, he's been averaging over 20 points per game. Right now, he's averaging almost 30. And I firmly believe that he might be the most explosive threat under the rim, even bigger than Steph Curry, in the sense that Steph, he's great from distance, like the way he gets his threes, he dribbles up and he will just shoot it where you don't expect. Kemba is having to make each and every read. So you see him on the pick and roll situation.
Well, I'll say this. I think that Kemba, I agree with her, he may be more explosive than Steph Curry under the rim. I think that Kyrie may be more explosive than Steph under the rim. But when it comes to proficiency, normally by the end of the season, Steph Curry leads the NBA in finishing around the basket. He's extremely proficient around the basket, and a lot of people don't realize that because he's not known for being a particularly explosive athlete.
How have people not blocked his shot yet? And the ability for him to not only score at a high clip at his, what are they, is he 6'1"? I'm not sure.
No, he's not 6'1". Kemba's about 5'11". And the reason why he does not get his shot blocked as much as you would think he should is because not only does he have a great first step, but he has a great finishing step as well.
I don't even know. Is that pushing it? I know I'm way taller than him.
Kemba, right from around the way, he from Soundview.
The fact that in the clutch, he has been great this year when his team needed it most. They're sort of relevant now. I see Kemba Walker as a true superstar in the NBA, and he's always been one. But it takes, what, 60?
No, he has not always been a superstar in the NBA. That term superstar is very exclusive in my view. I personally think that there are only 7 superstars in the league right now. I've named them before. I'm going to name them again. LeBron, KD, Steph, Kawhi, Anthony Davis, James Harden, Antetokounmpo. Just outside of that, you have Kyrie, you have Russell Westbrook, you have Dame Lillard. Those are the guys that are right outside of that. I mean, also Joel Embiid, so on and so forth. A couple of other guys that are also on that second tier. But the first tier are those 7 guys.
50-point games, 103 in back-to-back efforts to get everyone's attention.
By the way, you could roast marshmallows now on her takes. This is better than Steph Curry. Go ahead.
Oh, just in that one aspect.
The stuff she's passionate about, which I like. So the thing about Kemba is he's probably one of the top 5 most underpaid players in the league.
Yes.
Incredible the way he's made him.
No, sir, I have to disagree with that. Kemba has to be the #1 most underpaid player in the NBA right now. I mean, who the hell could be more underpaid than Kemba Walker?
Made himself into one of the top guards in an era where we have a ton of point guards. And one of the reasons why he felt it was so tough to learn how to play in the NBA.
I don't even call them point guards anymore. I just call them lead guards. They bring the ball up. They make all the decisions. They also take most of the shots.
Playing the NBA, frankly, is because he's small.
Yes.
And it takes him to learn those angles. The challenge with him, though, is he has not been a difference maker. They have not been a playoff team. They are, frankly, one of the worst teams of all time in close games, which is, he's won them some games, but they're 3-20 in the last couple of years in games decided by 3 points or less.
That's always a test for me when you decide who you're going to call a superstar. That's always one of the main parameters for me when we're talking about who we're going to call a superstar. Does this player not only dominate the basketball court, but does he make his team better? Does he give his team a better chance to win? Does he make his teammates better? That's a superstar. Now, even though I get on LeBron James a lot because the media overinflates the impact that he has on his teammates in regards to stats, LeBron James does put his team in a better position to win than they are without him. There's no doubt about that. And when you talk about Steph Curry is probably one of the top 10, if not top 5, most impactful players in regards to his play and his presence on the basketball court, resulting in wins in the history of the NBA, particularly since his rise to prominence starting in 2012, but really in 2014 onward. His impact on the basketball court is up there with anybody in the history of the league from 2014 up to now.
It's kind of like what Trae Young is learning right now with Atlanta. He's shooting very poorly because the angles that you have to create as a littler guy in the NBA just takes a lot of time.
No,
so I just
superstar being you have to win. Because I think you can be a star without winning.
Shouldn't superstar just be like the top 3 or 4 players in the NBA? If you're not one of those few elite players, aren't you a star?
Those are both wonderful philosophical questions. The most important.
A star without winning.
Shouldn't superstar just be like the top 3 or 4 players in the NBA?
I agree with you, Rachel Nichols. I stated that myself. In my view, there are only 7 superstars in the NBA. And if you want to shorten that list to 4, that'd probably be even better. Because to be quite frank with you, to me, those top 4 guys, like she stated or like she asserted, LeBron, KD, Steph, Kawhi, those are really the only 4 guys that have won championships and that have proven that they can lead their team to championships or be an integral part of a championship team. The other 3 guys on my superstar list I have there because I think that they have a superstar level impact, but they haven't won anything yet. Giannis, James Harden, Anthony Davis, they have not won yet. So Rachel Nichols is correct. Really, it probably should be the top 4 players in the NBA are rendered superstars. But the other 3 guys that I call superstars, in my view, they have that superstar aspect to them. They're on their way. They just don't have the right coach yet, or they don't have the right teammates yet, or there's something missing. There's a little idiosyncrasy that's missing from their overall championship level or superstar level DNA that's stopping them from being, a star of superstars or the elite amongst the superstars. But once again, top 4 guys in the NBA right now, they're all definitely superstars. LeBron, KD, Steph, and Kawhi.
If you're not one of those few elite players, aren't you a star?
Those are both.
I agree.
Both wonderful philosophical questions. The most important one is, do you pay him $200 million if you're the Charlotte Hornets? And that is where things get difficult.
I don't think that that's difficult at all. I don't think it's difficult at all if you're Michael Jordan. If you're Michael Jordan, You have to look at your team and say to yourself, well, Charlotte is not the most appetizing of locations in the Eastern Conference. What we can do is we can take Kemba Walker and we can turn him into the modern time Allen Iverson. We can make him his own attraction. People can come watch him get 30, 35 points. They'll be happy with that. We'll win 42, 43 games. Unless we draft great, we're not going to get much better as a team, but at least we're going to have him, and we'll throw the boat at him.
Should mean something, the word superstar.
But anyway, that's basically it on that. We'll see how things turn out for Mr. Kemba Walker. Hopefully everything turns out well for him. So peace.